some of the most beautiful cars ever made. And today, I'm going to show you the 7 most beautiful cars ever created that looks so unreal, it shouldn't even exist. But here's the twist. If you don't understand why these cars look beautiful, you'll fall into the same trap most people do, buying something that feels amazing today but becomes a regret later. So don't just watch this for inspiration. Watch this to understand what actually makes a design last and what makes it fake. Because by the end of this video, you won't just see cars differently, you'll start spotting which ones are worth it and which ones are just fooling you. And trust me, number 1 breaks every rule.
Number one.
But here, the problem. Most people look at cars like this and completely misunderstand them because they focus on the surface, the shine, the curves, the badge, and because of that, they end up making terrible car decisions in real life, buying things that look exciting today but feel outdated just a few years later. So while you watch this, I want you to pay attention to something deeper, not just what looks good, but why it looks good. Because once you understand that, you start seeing cars differently, you start noticing patterns, and more importantly, you stop getting manipulated by trends. And trust me, by the time we reach number 1, you're going to realize something uncomfortable. Most cars aren't designed to be beautiful, they're designed to be sold, and the difference between those two things is everything. We start with a car so beautiful, even Enzo Ferrari once called it the most beautiful car ever made, the Jaguar E-Type. And when you look at it, it's almost impossible to disagree. That impossibly long hood, the low flowing roofline, the way the body curves like it's been sculpted by hand. It doesn't look engineered. It looks alive. But here's what most people completely miss. This car wasn't designed to be pretty. It was designed to be fast. That long nose, aerodynamics, that low stance, stability, those curves, efficiency. Beauty was the result, not the goal. And this is your first lesson. Real design isn't decoration. It's function expressed perfectly. If your car has fake vents, fake aggression, fake styling, you're not driving design, you're driving illusion. And illusion fades fast. The reason the E-Type still looks stunning today is because physics doesn't go out of style. Trends do, physics doesn't. But what happens when beauty doesn't come from discipline but from rebellion? Before this car existed, supercars didn't look like this. They were front-engine, predictable, safe. Then came the Lamborghini Miura, and everything changed. Mid-engine layout, wide stance, a design that looked like it was ready to pounce. But here's the insane part. This car wasn't even officially approved. A group of engineers built it in secret, after hours, without permission. Think about that. One of the most beautiful cars ever made started as a rebellion, and that matters. Because true innovation almost never comes from playing safe. It comes from people willing to risk being wrong. Beauty often comes from courage. But here's the trap. Most people misunderstand this lesson. They think bold equals better. So they buy cars that scream for attention. Sharp angles, over-designed bodies, too much happening. And what happens? It ages badly. Because bold without balance turns into chaos. If your car looks futuristic today, there's a high chance it'll look outdated in 5 years. So, if rebellion creates beauty, what happens when something refuses to change at all? At first glance, the Porsche 911 doesn't look revolutionary. In fact, it looks almost simple. But that simplicity is deceptive, because this is one of the most intelligent designs ever created. Why? Because it didn't chase trends. It didn't reinvent itself every few years. It did something much harder. It evolved. For over 50 years, the silhouette stayed recognizable. And that's rare, because most companies panic, they redesign, they overcomplicate, they follow trends. Porsche didn't. They refined, adjusted, perfected. Consistency creates trust. Trust creates timelessness. Now compare that to most modern cars, designed to look exciting for 3 years. Then suddenly they feel old, outdated, replaceable. And no, that's not an accident, that's strategy. If your car ages fast, you buy again faster. Yeah, your dissatisfaction. But what happens when design goes beyond evolution and becomes obsession? This is not just a car. This is a $50+ million obsession. The Ferrari 250 GTO. Everything about it feels intentional. The proportions, perfect. The stance, aggressive yet elegant. The details, flawless. But here's the part most people don't realize. This car was not designed to be beautiful. It was designed to win races. Every curve, every vent, every line was built for performance, and yet it became one of the most beautiful objects ever created. When performance meets obsession, beauty becomes inevitable. But here's something strange. If this design is so perfect, why don't modern Ferraris look like this anymore? Why did we move away from this kind of beauty? Hold that thought, because the answer leads directly to number one. Now we move from mechanical perfection to something far more advanced. This is where design changes completely. The McLaren P1. This isn't just a car you look at. It's a car that responds. Active aerodynamics. Air flowing through the body. Panels that adjust at speed. This car isn't static. It's alive. Modern beauty isn't about shape anymore. It's about behavior. How a car moves. How it reacts. How it interacts with physics. And the P1 does that perfectly. Every line exists for a reason. Every surface serves a function. Nothing is random. Unlike some modern cars, where designers just keep adding lines until it looks complicated enough. You've seen those. Too many edges, too much noise, complexity without purpose is just confusion. But what happens when you remove complexity entirely? This is confidence. The Aston Martin DB5. No aggressive angles, no exaggerated design, just smooth lines, perfect proportions, and absolute control. It doesn't try to impress you. It expects you to understand it. And that's powerful, because true beauty doesn't shout. It whispers. And the people who understand it, they don't need validation. This is the kind of car that says, I don't need to prove anything. And ironically, that makes it more desirable than anything loud. Also, yes, this is the James Bond car. So if confidence had a physical form, this would be it. But even this level of perfection breaks under one thing: reality. Because number one doesn't follow any rules. This is not just a car. It's a contradiction. The Bugatti Type 57 SC Atlantic, built in the 1930s. And somehow, it still looks more futuristic than cars today. Let that sink in. Almost 100 years old and still ahead of its time. But here's where it gets insane. That iconic ridge running across the body. It exists because the material couldn't be welded. So instead of hiding the flaw, they turned it into the most defining feature. That's not design, that's vision. Only 4 were ever made. And today, it's one of the most valuable cars on Earth. But its true value isn't money, it's philosophy. Because this car ignores everything today's design depends on. No focus groups, no cost optimization, no mass production logic, just pure, uncompromised creation. Because in today's world, a car like this would be rejected instantly. Too expensive, too impractical, too risky. And that tells you something important. The more controlled the system becomes, the less beauty it produces. So what's the real lesson? Beauty in cars isn't about looks. It's about purpose, balance, consistency, courage. And when those things come together, you don't just get a car, you get something timeless. But when they don't, you get something temporary, forgettable, replaceable. And if you don't understand this, you keep falling into the same trap, buying cars that feel exciting but don't last. And now you understand something most people don't. Just because a car looks beautiful doesn't mean it's a smart decision to buy. In fact, some of the cars still being sold today should have been discontinued years ago. Outdated design, bad value, and people are still buying them, which means there's a high chance you might be considering one right now. So before you make that mistake, watch this next video, because I break down the exact cars that should be dead but are still being sold in 2026. Click on the screen right now and make sure the next car you choose isn't one you regret.